Okay, so you like Black Mirror?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What episodes?
My
You
favorite
like?
is White Elephant, but you haven't seen it. But I really like San Junipero.
Okay, I really like San Junipero too. So like,
Yeah.
what about it did you like?
I mean, it was just a nice story. Like, I really like the way that Black Mirror sort of like explores the different ways that technology can be terrible and basically like nightmare scenarios that really make you think and like leave you with moral quandaries and everything. But that one's just like there's sad stuff in it, but it ends up like it's one of the few episodes of Black Mirror that just has like a happy ending.
Yeah, it was really happy
Exactly.
at the end. Like, I think that's part of the reason that was one of my favorites too. Is like it made me feel good. Like like you were saying, a lot of these episodes really shows like the bad sides of what technology, if it advances, can become. But, there's some good that can come out of it too, and that's one of the episodes that shows that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool to like just be sitting there at the end of an episode and being like super shocked at what happened and like thinking about all the repercussions and everything. But it's also nice to be like, oh, that was a nice story. Technology can be good sometimes. Like,
And I don't know, just like in general about the show, I don't know. I guess we'll just go to that. Like, because it seems like they have like different directors for the episodes, right? Like
I would think so.
they have like different people directing each episode, so they're all kind of different, and it's different actors, right? For most of them, yeah.
I think I mean,
For
there
a lot
might
of them.
there might be some that reoccur, but I think it's pretty much like completely
Right. It's not like every episode's got the same cast every time,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
each time, I mean, I feel like they do a really good job with such like different casts and directors
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's why
And-
the show's really good.
Yeah,
to
and
me.
it's also you end up caring about the characters, even though a lot of them are only like an hour,
Right,
or less than an
exactly.
hour. Like you really get to you feel like you get to know them, which I feel like is a good segue to Shut Up and Dance.
Okay.
That
that is.
because
So.
that one like I loved and I hated, and I felt like I didn't know what to think about it because like the entire time you are like on that person's side. You feel like you've gotten to know that person. You're rooting for them, and the entire time like it's a complete ploy to like because it turns out that the reason why he's like so afraid of that tape of him getting out is because he's a pedophile. So I mean I remember that was probably like the most shocked I'd been in any of the episodes, and I like didn't know how to feel because you just spent the last hour rooting for this person and it turns out he's a pedophile.
And I think what helps with that is they pick topics that like are easy to relate to. Like he's just a young kid. Like what we think he's gonna get exposed for. That's something pretty much everybody's done. So that's why it's like, oh, like I feel for this guy. Like that could what if that happened to me? Like
Yeah.
he's not a bad person. Blah
Yeah,
blah blah. And
and
then they
it's-
totally flip it on you. It's like what the hell?
Exactly, and you also think that he's like, you feel bad because it's also like he feels so desperate to not let this get out, and you think that it's like, I mean, obviously it's a terrible thing, but you think it's also like, oh, he's like shy and embarrassed, but like, no, he's like, he should be ashamed.
There's like always like an element of mystery, I think, to like almost every episode too, which is really
Yeah.
cool. It helps the suspense of it.
Yeah, because they don't really explain what's going on. It's not like you start the episode and they're like, this world, we're living in a world in which this is happening,
Right.
and this is happening. Like, you kind of have to piece it together as it goes on.
That's what's cool about it just being like short episodes. It's just like you get thrown right in and you just have to try to piece it together from there, which could be a hard thing to do like as a show. But I think it makes it
Yeah.
all the much better, the fact that they're able to do that pretty
Yeah.
successfully, So
Especially like San Junipero, like I had no idea like what was going on at first. I was like, maybe they are in the past, or like I didn't know what it was, and then you find out at the end that it's like the sort of like simulation where you like upload your consciousness into the cloud or whatever it is.
yeah, you don't
And
find
it's-
that out till the end, right?
Yeah, you don't find that out until like pretty much the very end, and like it was like sad in some ways, but it was also like I said, it was like one of the things where like it actually ended up having a happy ending, and you see like, oh, that can really help people.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot better, I think. Well, not. It's hard to say because maybe it's just because I thought that one was happier. I was gonna say I
Yeah,
liked it more than
I-
Shut Up and Dance.
Yeah, like I think they're very different.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Like
Yeah.
the other one was like shock factor
Ex-
thrilling. The other one was just like you're still surprised, but it's just in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. San Junipero is like the one that I'd want to rewatch and be like, oh, that makes me happy. Like I really like watching that. And Shut Up and Dance is like, don't know.
That one like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then you're saying, what about Nosedive?
I liked Nosedive.
So I don't really remember too much, but
Yeah,
I like the idea of it a lot.
It's basically the one where everyone rates you and you get like a social score, and your social score, which is based on just like everyone you meet, basically decides like where you can live, where you can like get food, like basically all aspects of life.
Kind of like determines your social status in real life based on social media.
And I feel like that's like a little like kind of like one of the closer ones that are closer to like happening in reality. This is kind of like off topic, but it's like they're semi doing something like that in China right now.
Really?
Not like you're rated against everyone, but basically people are getting like scores that the government gives them based off of like how loyal they are to the government and like whether they've like broken laws and stuff like that. And it's like it's not obviously like the same thing or anything close to like
right,
like
the level
this,
that's on.
The level that this is on, but it's like kind
Who
of
knows
similar.
what it could become, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the early stages of that.
Exactly. And I remember reading about that like after I'd seen Nosedive, and I was like, oh, like it's
shit.
exactly.
It's
And you,
happening.
and you can realize like it actually can happen, because it's like you watch most of these and you're like, well, that's never gonna happen, or like that's way far off, but it's like actually kind of happening some places.
Do you think like one of the reasons you like the show too is like you said, that one's one of the more realistic ones, but even the ones that seem kind of crazy, like they're still not that far fetched. Like the idea sounds crazy at first, then when you think about it, it's like
it could
these
happen.
things actually could happen.
Exactly.
You know? Like these are realistic outcomes of like technological advances and stuff that could happen.
Exactly, and that's what I like. Like, it makes you think at the end, like, partly just like the shock factor stuff, like at Shut Up and Dance, but also just like thinking about sort of the effects of technology and like how things can go, and like in some like episodes it can be good, like San Junipero, but other ones it's like terrible, like Nosedive.